Hi guys, this is my first ever voiceover for any YouTube thing ever. So let's be real, it's gonna be really bad. Um, so I apologize in advance, but I feel like I'm gonna get better over time. So hopefully you'll see an improvement, but just bear with me for now. So anyway, this video is a converted barn build, and the inspiration for it was actually grand designs. I don't know whether that's a popular thing around the world, but in the UK, especially a few years back, it was quite a popular thing to watch, at least with my family, and to the point where my parents actually wanted to do this themselves, but finding a barn to convert that wasn't in the middle of nowhere is actually quite a feat. So they never actually ended up doing it. They did build their own house, but not a converted barn. So I guess this is a tribute and maybe what our house would look like if we'd done it. There's some inspiration actually from what our house looks like now. The like eventually I'll put on the tiling and the paneling on the side. I go with slate roof like the house that I've got, but originally I wanted to go for a thatch roof, but I didn't think it looked right. Also, I went for a white paneling on the house, and hardwoods after a long time, what happens to them is they actually go like this beautiful silver colour. And I know you can't really get that in The Sims, but this is the closest you can do. So the front of this house, I thought looked a little bit weird on its own. Well, not weird, but you know, a little bit too plain. So I put on this bit at the front, and I actually think it looks quite nice. It adds a detail, and that kind of thing would realistically actually be on a barn, or it would be put on um, later on realistically. Now for this bit, I really wanted this door, and I tested it beforehand. The Sims can walk through it, and it's all fine. But obviously it's for a larger wall, but I think it looked weird with the windows with the separation. So I brought it back down and I added in the window at the top so it didn't look as weird. Um, I think it looks okay. And here I'm putting in the windows. The smaller one is where the bathroom is going to be because I already had an idea of what I was going to do, the plan for this, and also these windows. If you ever search up converted barn, and I highly recommend that you do because they look awesome, but quite a lot of the time they have like either big open spaces of windows like I've got at the front, or they seem to be sort of dotted around and quite sporadic. So I tried to replicate that at the back, and I actually think it works really well. I don't know if that's because I know the style or not, but I thought it looked good. Here I'm putting like the a little balcony, and I wanted the stairs to go straight up onto the balcony instead of putting them somewhere else. So I put that little bit sticking out so that it would work. I don't know whether you can do it straight off the balcony, but I found that this works, so I just went with this. I thought it looked pretty cool. Um, but if there's a better way, let me know because that would be great. Because there's been so many builds where I've wanted to do it, and I mean this is the first time I've actually done it where it's worked well. Um, okay, so that up there is the mouse bedroom, and there was a bathroom there as well. And that's the bathroom downstairs, and the two bedrooms behind the stairs, they're gonna be bedrooms. The two rooms behind the stairs gonna be bedrooms. Anyway, and this outhouse bit to the side, if uh, this build is influenced a lot by TV, let's just say, and I remember also watching as a kid farming, like farmyard sort of things, like the day in the life of farmers and how they go about, their business and that kind of thing. And quite often they had like a little outhouse to the barns where there would be an office, and that's where they would talk to their clients and they'd sell their produce and they'll do all the paperwork and stuff like that. So I thought that having that on the side there, like they just kept it the same but converted the rest of the house or the barn. But if your Sims work from home, then actually it might be a good thing. It being separated from the house, and you have to go outside to go back in because it would be, I guess if I was living it, it would feel like I was actually going to work and you had to get changed to go outside and put shoes on, and it wouldn't just be like sitting in your room, in your bed and doing work because I think most people know that that normally doesn't work very well. Okay, for this bit, I'm actually making a pig's pen. Um, I tried to look for lots of different animals to see what would look best, but the thing that looked the most realistic in inverted commas, was the pigs. But we've got some little piglets there, and I thought it actually looked quite cute. We've also I sized up one of the trains with coals to make it into the food trough, and then also the water trough as well was just a bit of fountain. Here I'm putting in some trees, and we're going to put in some shrubbery, and I find this bit a little bit boring, honestly. I think it's aesthetically pleasing to watch because obviously flowers are pretty, but it's a little bit boring to watch someone do it, I feel, because they're normally very similar. But anyway, my personal preference with these is to pack up the bottom with like low-lying stuff and then bring on top some bushes and shrubs to create a different layer. I also, if I'm putting it next to a path, I don't mind that it goes slightly over the edge because realistically over time, um, plants will do that. Plants will grow over paths and into the cracks between the stones and things like that, and I feel like it adds like another realism. And also, if all else fails, put some rocks in there because it will make it look better. That's what I do. Anyway, I also like to, as a terrain paint, I like to put in the one which has like green and brown because it feels like that possibly it might be like weeds or grass or something, but I think it looks better than just putting plain brown personally. And at the front here, I wanted it just to be flowers. I wanted it to be something that the Sims could look out from their living room and see all these pretty flowers and them in bloom and a little less green but more colour. I thought that would be quite a nice thing to see. I personally would want that in our house. Here we're just putting in more shrubs and more texture and things like that. I'm extending the path because I thought it was a bit narrow, and then I'm trying to make it look a little bit more worn in maybe, but it's tricky to make that clean edge look not so crisp. Now I'll be honest here. At the front of the house, I actually really struggled. I struggled with this bit, and I tried putting in these bushes, and I actually cut out some footage, but I tried lots of different things to try and make that bit work better because I feel like the bin and the post box just didn't work on their own. So I just moved to the back and put in some trees and things like that because I was like, I need to stop doing this for now and have a little break from it. But in the end, I put them next to each other and actually put a truck out there, which I sized up a toy. Um, and I don't know. I feel like some people would drive on the grass to get up there. I know my parents would, but um, if you wanna have this build, then feel free to put in a little gravel track. I tried to put it in there, but I didn't think it looks as good. I found with these big lights, they don't actually like go to the second floor unless you have the grid down. So for those who don't like seeing grids on builds, it's going to be one for a little while just so that I can, put those things in the right places. I also find that those lights give off actual no light whatsoever, and so later I do a little the debug cheat thing and get the square lights that don't show up in gameplay so that I've actually got some light in that area of the house. Alright guys, your mission for when this video is over is to look up converted barn builds because the interior of them are so pretty. They have all these exposed beams in the roof and on the walls and going across, and it's just so pretty. And that was a huge inspiration, obviously, in this build. But with The Sims, you can't really do that yet. So we might be able to get more things like exposed beams to put in the house for when the new pack comes out, because it's got a European theme. And looking at the houses, that might be something that comes along with that theme. But for now, what I try and do is I try and incorporate as much wood as I can, stone, and organic materials. And what there is in the builds is there's a mixture between this organic material, but also like glass and modern objects. But to incorporate the wood, what I've had to do is to add in more of sort of a more rustic furniture that's more like wood based and things like that, so that it actually still brings in the theme and doesn't look completely off. You know, that it still looks as though it's one of these houses. Here I'm doing the entrance to the house, and I used the debug tree also again to get that painting, and the log from the log chair from the outdoor retreat pack. I try and I try and I try to get a little end table thing to work there and to put ornaments on it and things like that, but nothing. I wanted to incorporate the glass as the thing that I was talking about before, but it wasn't working, so I put some shoes there instead. Easy way out, and I put a mirror there, and I actually changed it to one with a more crisp edge because I think the one with the rounded edge looks a bit childish, personally. Anyway, here we go onto the living room, and I use one of those tables with the sort of worn down wood and a big TV because despite a lot of the items in this build, it is actually in the 21st century. And I try and bring in some of the modernity with that lamp there because it's really quite unique, and I think it fits. I think it fits quite well, but if you guys don't like it, then feel free to take it out. And testing carpets here, I actually really like this one. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that has to be in there. That looks really good. And we're putting up a decoration. I wanted to add a little pop of colour. I know it doesn't really go, but I think it looks pretty. So I'm going to keep it in. I didn't actually realise these little chess tables existed until recently because they are a table that you have to unlock. But I think it fits perfectly with this build. We're going back to this area over here. I cut it out, but I tried to put an end table there as well, but it didn't work. So I put a little reading nook. There's also another reading nook up the top of the stairs later on, but there's no trouble with having two. I'm gonna put a little doormat in here. Something to wipe your feet on when you come in from a farm. I think it's a good idea. We put another little rug in there, and we put in a muted grey. A lot of these colours are, with this build, very organic, which obviously fits in with our theme. But we put in a little cow and a little pig. I thought they were silly, and I just put them in. Okay, and then we're putting that down the bottom of the stairs. I thought that area was a little bit empty. And for the kitchen, I was really undecided as to what sort of counters, what sort of theme I was going to go for with the kitchen, but I ended up going for sort of an industrial feel. I think it actually looks quite cool. I'll go for this dark one, and what I like about it is the alternative pieces of this set have the little trinkets and shelves and things like that, which I guess you can imagine your Sims going and using. And I thought that kind of thing actually fitted quite well. Maybe not the industrial, but the little knickknacks everywhere and that kind of thing. And I try and put some cupboards up the top, but they don't match because they're white. And I know that the thing at the bottom in the corner that has got white on it, but I don't think it fitted very well. So I try and put it up there, but it doesn't really work. So we put up some decorations instead because I felt like that area was really empty. This is me just trying and failing to make this work. If you feel like you can do a better job, go for it. I'd love to see if you guys wanted to I'd love to see if you guys want to change up the interior in here. If you think that you want to do a different style, maybe if you think that you can make it a bit more modern, maybe if you think that something a lot more old-fashioned would fit in here. I'd really love to see your take on my build. So let me know if you end up doing that, and I'd love to see it. Here I'm trying to put in a dining table, and a lot of the really big ones, especially that one which I just put in, I thought that would like fit so perfectly. Um, and this one, which I realise is actually there's a smaller one, so that's the one I ended up doing. But I think it's a bit cramped, but I end up changing the wall of the bathroom to make it fit. But some of those bigger tables, I think it'd be great if we had some smaller sizes. Not all houses are big, and I feel like quite a lot of the surfaces of the smaller tables are really plain and flat, whereas some of the others have a lot more detail. And I feel like we need more of those little smaller tables. I find this. I tried to put a rug in there, make it feel more homely, and I found that red one. And the chairs actually come in a green and red mix, but the green is difficult to see, so I added it in anyway. I decided to use this bed, which I'm putting in now, in the master bedroom. But for now, I feel like this is a teen bedroom, and they wouldn't have the bed which is maybe as pretty, maybe something which is still going with the theme of the rustic and the wood, but not something quite as fancy as that. And I go for blue and brown and cream for this room. I haven't done the wallpaper yet. We're going for the rustic wood again, and with the flooring, I really love this flooring. I use this again throughout the house. I think in the study and also upstairs I use a different one, I think. But yeah, I'm trying out the different wallpapers here, but I think this one looks good. I think it's not quite the exact same blue used on the bed, but it's very similar. It's close enough. And we're just putting up some little knickknacks and decorations. If you guys are going to use this house, then obviously these were little girls' ornaments. But feel free to, make it a bit more manly or whatever if you feel like it will suit your sim a bit better. And then we put in a little corner chair over there. I thought it sort of brought the room together a bit, made it a little bit more lived in. Okay, and then this room is the children's bedroom, and it's again going with the neutrals and browns. And this is I haven't actually used this wallpaper before, not in this colour, so I wanted to try it out. And seeing as this is a build where it is the more earthy tones, I thought that it's a good chance to try it. So I try these different beds, and of course there is the problem with the colours of them, and they don't quite match. The wood doesn't quite match, but it's close enough, I think, and I think it looks actually pretty decent. And I also haven't used that rug before, so I wanted to give it a go. And we're putting in some school items and little knickknacks and toys and things like that. Also making it a little bit more lived in. And where do we go next? Okay, the bathroom. I think I put this size bathroom, this layout, in a lot of my builds. I think it's the most, I guess, economical space-wise for the builds. You can fit a toilet, a shower, and a sink in several combinations of where the door is and where the windows are and things like that, where it actually works well. Um, I should probably start putting in bigger bathrooms, mix it up a little bit, but I like putting them in that size. So I did in this build, and it suited it, made sure that there was space elsewhere where it was needed. And here we're putting in twin desks, back to back, and I thought about putting the glass in there for the glass chairs, but there was already the glass tables, so I left them in there. So we also put in some skill items, the workbench, some artist easels, and also these are the files and documents that I was talking about. I thought that there was another one with all those files in, but I couldn't find it when I was building, so I thought I'll just put in an all bookcase, which is what I put in after this. And we put some knickknacks on the little files and things like that on the tables to also make it look like that they were sorting out the things for files for all the transactions and things like that. And then in here we put in a bonsai tree and a few other little plants next to it, like a watering can and things like that. We put up that painting over there. I feel like I use that one a lot, but I like it. And the one in the team bedroom as well. I feel like I use that one a lot, but they're good paintings. And until we get more objects in the game, then why not use things which look good in the game? Here we go onto the master bedroom, and we've got a toilet, which is the same size again. And I go for this bed, and I wanted to use the green, but I also wanted to use some of the new paneling from the spa pack, but there isn't a green tone. I knew there was a green to do with the hot tub, but that's a different pack anyway, and so that's what I was trying to do. So I ended up going for white and yellow. And the annoying thing is most of the yellow items in the game also come with like a really dark black wood. And seeing as this is, I guess, the only light and bright room in the house, I did want to keep it that way. I didn't want to add in the dark woods because I feel like it would look weird against the white. So I try and put plain white things and plain yellow things in this room to make up for that. Some of the items I don't think go well together 100%, but realistically things don't go together 100% in real life. So I think it still looks cool. And I feel like there's a little bit of an empty area near the door, and so I put later on a little meditation block there. But I didn't know what to put there, so that's what I put. And here we're putting up flowers. I was trying to find one which would actually fit. If you can see there, I got my keys mixed up and enlarged the watering can instead of making it go upwards. And then here what we do is we move that one to the middle and move the rose onto the other side. And are we putting up a painting here? Or what are we doing? Yeah, we're going through these. I think this is really pretty. I don't know what is that from the telescope that you get those? Because that's beautiful. I want to see a sky like that, or is it part of like a stone or something? Because that would be also equally crazy and lovely. So we put in these like rugs. The one with the circles on, I barely ever use. I don't know why. I use the circular ones quite a lot, but the ones with the little circles on them, I hardly ever use. I'm not sure. I feel like most of the time they don't really work, but in this house, in this room, I think it works well with the yellow and the white, and it sort of ties it together. It's probably the only thing in there other than the bed, which is yellow and white. Okay, and this is the little reading nook I was talking about. You just pop some chairs in here and things like that, and put some rugs in. It's quite a narrow space, so it's reasonably difficult to furnish. And I think we put a lamp in there. And yeah, that's about it. I try and put in the other one, but it doesn't quite work. Okay, and then outside, what is it that we've got left? I think I put in, yeah, that's a little fire pit. I think this looks really cute, and I actually got, I think I might have included it at the beginning, as the beginning footage where they were all sitting around there as a family. It was really cute, I thought. I really like these. I actually only recently got out the outdoor retreat set because I'm with Mac. I couldn't actually get the game until way later on. So I think it was actually past the point the rest of you guys actually got that back. So because I watched so many videos with people actually playing that, I didn't feel the need to actually buy it. So here we go on to the screenshots. And I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this video and also sticking it right to the end. I've actually really enjoyed making these videos and meeting everyone in the community, and it's been really great actually. So thank you again. And I hope you have a lovely day.